Hello folks, the Celtic Nerd here bringing you another nerdy video. We are back where my last video left off when I died, which is walking along the outside of the Manon facility. Now, as you can see here, I have done some saves. I'm actually going to save right now. Because of how difficult combat is while in this suit, I feel it is better to keep my save, basically to save after every shark attack. Alright, we have two entrances here. There's one, and then there's another. Both have a shark nearby. Okay, be ready with this one. Okay, both of them are dead. We're gonna save again. We're gonna go to the far one. There we go. Now, we don't have the rest of the party, so we are completely isolated for the rest of this mission. Immediately we're met with multiple cell cats, so we're going to use the sanity. Go. Now, luckily enough, because the amount of dark side points I actually have, these powers are actually quite cheap for me to use now. Oh. Probably being picked up on my mic. So, okay, so either door we've encountered would have led to us having to deal with cell cats. Few cryo grenades.
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Phyraxan and the Cellcath in. No, stay out! Stay out! I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the chamber. That'll stop you.
Kill them! Kill them now!
No problem. What? What? Yes, you're a friend. You'll protect us. You won't. I'll unlock the door, but you have to come in quickly. I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just passed.
We're both just scared.
When the Cellcath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Phyraxan sharks just tore them apart. It was...
The next thing we knew, our Cellcath researchers started screaming and clawing at every... Sammy and me, I I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the cell cath outside the...
We thought everyone was... I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Harakard Rift project. Look, I'm sorry. I have just been under a lot of strain recently. You know, the whole thing about...
Kono, don't talk to him like that. We've gone through a lot, and we said we were sorry for the mistake we made.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. What is it you want to know? A star map? I don't know anything about a star map down here.
But there were some ruins that were excavated when we were digging the foundations for the last section of the KOTOR harvesting machine.
But we can't go anywhere near those now. Maybe that's why it all happened in the first place.
We don't know. Not for sure.
The work teams were outside in the rift, near the vent. Then there was this rumbling in my...
This monster rose up from the...
It was a Firaxa shark, I think. Bigger than anything.
It was like it was screaming.
Then all the Selkaths started screaming too. And they turned on us. It may have been. Maybe it was protecting the ruins by the rift. It could have been. It might have a lair in the Harakard Rift near the Kolto vent. That might explain a few things too. Like why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got closer to the vent. And also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the Kolto. It would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. But with Kolto as a food source...
And all those other Firaxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children coming to protect their mother. That would be suicide! It's out there still!
Out there, waiting for us.
The Firaxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive to them, but we never got it working right.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, it should be ideal for...
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do. The repellent we made was supposed to drive Firaxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that...
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the...
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the You can take this canister of toxin. We were working on it just before the giant shark drove all the cell All you need to do is insert it into the main Kolto harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Firaxan shark.
Wait, don't! We don't know what effect the toxin will have on the ocean environment around the rift. It could poison the water against all life. It could poison the Kolto itself, even. There is another way. Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift. I am sure. You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million sangin, a liquid at about 4 million sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very... If you inject enough of the
But we'll lose everything.
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water.
You know it's the right thing to just put the canister into the machine and have it vent in.
No, you shouldn't do... Just reprogram the harvest...
You know what you...
I just hope you make the right...
Fun fact, folks, regardless of what this toxin might do, now again, keep in mind, it is canonical that Revan did not poison the Fraxian shark. He simply, destroyed the machines and, placated it. So keep that in mind. There is a continuity with these games. I'm just not following it. Now, regardless of what Revan does, eventually KOTOR will no longer be a powerhouse. Eventually the selling of KOTOR does eventually stop because it runs out. And also there was a much more efficient and cheaper and more easily mass-produced material thing called Bacta, because it is made, with bacteria. So Bacta, which does just as good of a job as Kolto, eventually replaces Kolto like entirely. Like that's what we see, you know, Luke use. Like iconically, the Bacta tank. He is literally submerged in basically helpful bacteria. So there we go. We got the Starforge done. So that brings us to 4, and it also means that the Yavin space station will have its final set of goods that we'll be able to get access to before we head to Corbin. I believe it updates at 3 and 4. Or it might be a situation where after you get the final star map. In either case, we'll travel to Yavin at some point and we'll take a look at the final special goods that was included in the rare Yavin DLC. Then again, might not be... Oh, sorry. It might not be as rare anymore, considering everything seems to have gotten access to it. Like, the fact that I'm playing on my Xbox, and I never had it. I never purchased it, folks, on the Xbox original. There's no reason why it should be associated with my account. The only Knights of the Old Republic that I own is the digital one. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. There we go, we're going to save. Now, folks, this is also normally where we would encounter Dart. I'm blanking on his name. I have his armor, which looks nothing like what he wore in the game, which is always annoying. His armor, what was his name? Oh, Bandon. So this is normally where we would fight Darth Bandon or Calo Nord, depending on which order we go. We explore the worlds through. However, we encountered them because of me going back and forth between Minan and other locations. We actually encountered them already in... I think it would be around here we fight them. Yeah, I think that's why that door was closed. It was basically recognizing like, oh, potential something might happen. But yeah, no, we encountered them in the Shadowlands because of the back and forth traveling I've been doing. Alright, and that is it. We'll open this footlocker. There we go. Okay, and with that, we are done with Minan.
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility? Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Kolto? It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any... Well, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged? Contaminated? That's much worse than I would ever have thought possible. It might have been better to lose the entire facility rather than damage the... This must remain entirely secret. We cannot allow anyone to find out that we damaged the Kolto production, or we would be banned permanently from the planet. We can only hope that the damage that was caused will go away in time. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that... Oh, and did you... I'll assume that means yes. As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself.
Okay, there we go. There's now nothing to do on... Well, actually there's this, but then that's it. And we'll also go back to Missions Brother now. I'm not going to record us going to Tatooine again. Oh, this door's closed, which means there might be a trial for us. I know that. So they had monitoring devices within. Alright, so with that we won't be able to complete this quest. But again, some of the Cellcat basically exposed themselves in their, you know, they were operating. That they broke their neutrality. Oh well. Oh, here we go.
What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Sol Karis vessel.